For today's video, this one will be called Yes We Can. And the reason why is because I'm going to give you a couple supplies that you can put in ammo cans to make for portable outing situations. Not bug outs, but if you have to go out, do certain things, odds and ends, it's better to have something small and safe to carry with you rather than carrying your whole bag if you're going to be going back to your location or your bug-in place. Oh yeah, I can't forget to mention, if you are bugging out, these are some necessities. So it's a bug out bag within a bug out bag for a possible bug-in situation. Now, first of all, you're going to need your ammo can. You can get these in metal or plastic. You can find them pretty much anywhere at Walmart, surplus stores, Amazon. They're not very expensive. First item on the list, or should I say two items on the list, are going to be pen and paper. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it's pretty important, just in case you have to A, write something down, take coordinates, geographic location, area, mapping out things. There are many uses for pen and paper, let's be honest here. Or you could write a letter for somebody who may be passing through, or leave a note for somebody or hiding it. So pen and paper, pretty important to have. Now, next up is something I used to see everywhere, but not necessarily anymore. First aid pocket guides. These things are worth their weight in gold. Small, compact, with a lot of knowledge. And it's helpful to treat both medical emergencies and non-emergency situations. So always good to have. Look up one. You can find them on Amazon for about $3 to maybe $9 or $10. It just varies on the guide and how extensive it is. But these are important to pack, so I'd grab one if you can. Next up is duct tape. Now, we all know the old saying, if you can't duck it, well, okay, well, we know the old saying. I'm not going to get into that. But there are numerous uses for duct tape. Anything you can put your mind to, you could use it for. So duct tape is one of the top things that's going to be on this list in order to go into this can. It's important, and also remember, the reason why we're using the can is a lot of this stuff we don't want to get wet, and they are sealed. Razor blades is up next. The reason why razor blades are so important is because you never know what you're going to have to cut, whether it could be paracord, whether it could be something small, and it's easier than grabbing your everyday carry, but they're always nice to have. You can get the double-sided or single-sided. You can find these generally for $1 or $2, right around the dollar store. Sometimes you can get a pack of 5 or a pack of 10. So keep that in mind also. Now, the trusty wire saw. Once again, this is something that's kind of self-explanatory. It's a wire that's a saw. It has small teeth, and if you run it back and forth over different objects, branches, it'll be able to help you cut through them, kind of making your life easier so you don't have to pack a full-size saw or anything like that with you. And to be honest with you, they're pretty durable. I've seen them ranging from $2 to $5, and you can get ones that are longer, sharper teeth, and more durable. Just kind of depends on what you want to pack and carry with you. Waterproof matches. Once again, self-explanatory. You never know when you're going to need to start a fire, and you don't want anything to get soaking wet, no longer work. So you can find waterproof matches. This set goes for about $9 to $11 on Amazon, but you don't necessarily need this one. You can go ahead and grab other different ones from the dollar store or hardware stores, and they'll probably go for around $3 to $5, but they're not going to be in this sealable case. Now, another thing I love to have is sewing kits. 1 or 2 normally does, because you never know when you're going to run into a situation where you might tear your clothes, you might need to stitch something up. Anything can happen, especially out in the field, on small trips, or even when you're bugging in. So grab a sewing kit. You can find these in the dollar store for $1.50, $2. You can find bigger ones on Amazon. You can find them in Walmart, pretty much anywhere. So definitely grab 1 or 2 to be sure to throw them in your ammo case. Safety pins. It's kind of like a sewing kit on the go. When you can't sit down and sew some stuff up, pop a couple safety pins in it until you get to where you need to go, and then sew everything up when you get there. So having a couple never really hurts. To be honest with you, you never know what you could use them for. So keeping a couple around, I don't think it ever hurt anybody. So remember, grab a couple safety pins. It'll definitely help out in your kit. Band-Aids is up next on the list. Once again, dollar store. You can grab these from the dollar store or any of your pharmacies, well, actually anywhere. Or you could buy a portable first aid kit. So whether you want them in clear, bandage, or if you're feeling kind of superhero-ish, you know, just grab a couple of Band-Aids and keep them around in that pack, just in case. Like I said, bug in or bug out, you never know when you can get a scrape, cut, or any of the above. Disinfectant wipes. Another object that can be found for $1 or $2 at the dollar store, and they don't have to be name brand. Just something that'll kill germs and bacteria if you're going to be out and about, or once again, inside bugging in. It's always good to have something to clean surfaces just to make sure you don't catch any viruses, bacteria, or at least clean up so you don't catch infections. So always good to have. And I don't mean using these on skin, I'm just saying cleaning the areas. Compasses, whether it's a micro compass or a full-size compass. Either or works. You could go ahead and chuck it in there, and when you need it, go ahead and take it out so you can kind of find your geographic location and try to get familiar with compasses. Please do. It's just one of those traits when you're out in the field, something you may need to know overall. So once again, micro or normal size compass, whichever one you feel, go ahead and throw it on in the ammo can. Oh, and they generally run about $1 to $5, so you can find them just about anywhere. Now, grabbing you a cheap fishing set could save your life, to be honest with you. Something like this, a small set that you can get for $3 to $5, you can grab it at Walmart or any of the other stores, order off Amazon. Now, one thing you will remember is if you're getting a fishing kit, not many of them come with fishing line. So go ahead, grab some extra line, and to be honest, when you're on the go and you don't have a pole, just remember being back in the old days where they used to tie it to a stick and drop it on in there. You don't got to catch the biggest fish to eat, you just got to catch a fish to eat. Now they do have pocket edible plants guides. Now this one runs about $15. I'm not saying you have to get this one. You can find them for $5, $6, $7. You know, they don't have to be the most expensive, but you want something extensive, and please be sure to read it to make sure that these plants grow in your geographic location. So that does helps. The pocket guide, of course, I say that only because it's small, slip right in the ammo crate, and you have it around. So you never know when you're going to need this, or you're out in the field and need something to eat. Now these are thermal blankets, and I don't mean an actual giant blanket. It's actually a giant piece of aluminum foil. I've seen them used for many things, from just putting up a tent to signaling, and also these things do a wonderful job at keeping in warmth. Now these generally go for about $2, and you can get them as expensive as $30, $40. It depends on how thick you want them and what you want, but they're easily carryable. You could fold them up, drop them right in your kit, and you're good to go. So once again, grab one of these. They're great to have. Now I spoke about this in the last video. Signaling, mirror, and a whistle. Once again, these things are really important to survival if you're stuck in a bad situation. The whistle and the mirror, they're self-explanatory, but it's always good to have one, whether it's a small portable compact mirror for makeup or anything. Just something to reflect light off of so you can get someone's attention if you're in a situation where A, you need help, or B, you're trying to alert them of danger. So remember, these things can be used for multiple purposes. Bullion cubes. They only run about 50 cents for a 6-pack. I think you can even get them cheaper than that depending on what store you go to. But bullion cubes are important just for one of those things. If you're out and about, need a little bit of extra energy, go ahead and boil up some water, drop in a bullion cube, and maybe a couple other things. Make yourself a soup. So having bullion cubes is pretty important. Well, to me personally, I'd like to keep some around, both chicken and beef flavor. A good sturdy pair of shoelaces is always good to have. Once again, you can put them in your shoes, but they're kind of multi-purpose, so you never know what you're going to need them for, and it's always good to keep a couple around. So personally, I keep about 3 or 4 in my box. Just helps out. And come on, let's be honest, if you end up messing up your shoelaces, shoes are loose and flopping around, it's rather not. So extra pair of shoelaces may cost you 99 cents, but always good to have. Zip ties is next on the list. So if you're ever in a clinch and you don't either want to use shoelaces or paracord or anything like that to just put something together, go ahead and grab a couple of zip ties. It's quick, it's easy, it's very secure, and you really don't have to worry about them breaking. So keeping a couple zip ties around for small things that you may need, it's always a good thought. And zip ties, you can buy them in packs of 10, 20, 50. It just kind of depends on your budget. But if it was me, I'd probably keep around 20 or 30 of them just in case. But once again, you can get the 10 pack as long as you're able to get a couple. Whether it's Dollar General or your grocery store, you can always find batteries. Grab a couple of them, drop them in there, because you never know when you're going to need them, possibly for a portable radio or anything you could find while you're out scouting. Also, they're good if you got a little piece of copper wire, wrap it around, touch the top to the bottom, and you can make fire pretty quickly. Of course, you have your matches, but it's always nice to have a backup for your backup for your backup. So remember, stock up on a couple of batteries. They'll be worth it. Alcohol wipes. Once again, something you can find just about anywhere. This list isn't very hard to come by. You can come by this stuff. You can buy it in bulk just so you have them on hand. Take a couple out and drop them in your can. You can find these ranging from $2, $3. You can buy them in bulk packs. Always good to have for cleaning cuts, wounds, and disinfecting areas. So just remember, grab a couple of alcohol pads. They're not very expensive, but they can save you from some very nasty infections and also cleaning up your hands or anything else before you have to handle objects. Now, if you're stopping by, you can grab a whole thing of painkillers. Which ones? I can't really tell you. Some people like ibuprofen, some people like aspirin. It's just kind of on the person. But come on, let's be honest. Who wants to go through the apocalypse with a killer migraine? I know I don't. Or even if you're in a survival situation, the last thing you need is a migraine getting on your nerves, blurring your vision, making you irritable out in the doomsday world. So yeah, it's definitely good to grab a couple of painkillers, and you can get them in individual packs or you can get them in the big case and divide them down just so you have them to carry out with you when you need them. Next up on the list, and one of the things that I do consider important, would probably be gloves. Whether they're latex, rubber, nitrile, whatever you have, if you have to deal with wound care with someone else, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So pack a couple of pairs of gloves. You can get boxes of them for $9 to $12, and I've seen individual packs that you can buy, sometimes for $1.50 to $2 with 6 to 8 in there. So grab a couple of gloves just in case. Once again, you never know what you're going to run into, and you never know when you're going to need them. Better safe than sorry. Now, I hope y'all didn't think I was going to forget about hand sanitizer. I know it came a little later in the video, but just pick up a couple travel size things of hand sanitizer, even if it's 1 or 2, and drop them on in that can. You're going to need this just for whatever you're going to run into. You never know what's going to be thrown at you, well, as far as life-wise. But you'll be able to keep your hands clean when need be, and it's also good if you need to clean out your cuts, especially when you're dealing with the alcohol wipes. So remember, just get you a portable thing of hand sanitizer. You'll find them anywhere for $1 and up. Okay, this is the last thing I promise. Paracord. Get a little bit of paracord, a paracord bracelet, something like that. It's a lot of paracord in a little bitty area. All you got to do is go ahead and give it a cut in one area or unravel it. You got enough paracord to do what you need to do, whether it's making camp, putting up a tent, it's pretty nice to have. So be sure to grab some of this. The Paracord bracelets, I've seen them run anywhere from $3, and some of them get expensive. If they got flint whistles and stuff in them, they can be $10, $15. So pick one up, Amazon, and that's probably the best place. Now, I know this video drew out just a little bit longer than what I wanted, but I wanted to be sure that people had a decent understanding for what to pack in this ammo can. I tried to mention prices, and if I forgot a couple, I sincerely apologize, but you can generally find this stuff on Amazon or at your local stores. So I hope I didn't waste 15 minutes of your life, but this 15 minutes might just save your life. And by the way, remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And if there's anything you think I missed, drop it on down in the comments. But this was just basic, remember. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful evening. A New Breed signing out.